warm welcome to all of you. This is the fourth webinar in our Change Makers series. We focus on change management in the first two webinars, and we touched on mindsets in the third webinar. Now, today's webinar will delve into systems thinking and Agile. I am Joseph Myburgh, owner and founder of the Time Factory and author of coaching books. My aim is to make you a better leader. My vision is to ensure that we create an army of change makers that will lead South Africa and the world out of this pandemic and into the new normal. I believe that the future is not a place where we are going to, it's a place we will create. A typical change plan addresses the portion just before change, and then the change event itself, and then thirdly, how to sustain the change. Now, this pandemic did not come with a change plan that I could see, and we needed to create one of our own.
The reality is there's such a lot of noise in the system. And if you think, what are all those things that come in your way all the time, and what are those things that you have to cope with? That is really the challenge.
I think I picked it up when I was looking through my stuff, and it's very real, important, and very relevant. It's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent is the one that is most adaptable to change. And I think we have seen it and experienced it, what was happening now in the world. The guys that adapt the best to the pandemic survived or got through the different phases quicker.
It comes from the whole thing of understanding how systems work together. And I want to first start with my point 3 there. So the whole thing of systems theory is actually that we are able to see patterns, that we should see the structures and the cycles of a system. Typically in business also, different kinds of businesses have got different kinds of cycles. So if you're in the home market environment, I remember at one stage when I was with a bank, we know at the end of the year, we put everybody in a new branch and we change and we swap around. So the people moving companies and so on knew that that's a big thing in the system that happens for them, that they can actually benefit from. And so all the other people that are involved with selling houses, school clothes, all of those kind of things. So there's certain patterns and rhythms that you have to be aware of in terms of the system that you are working with. And then also I think it's important to understand that these things are interrelated and they influence each other. So if you don't look at things holistically and with a bigger picture, you might miss those connections and you might miss how they influence each other. So I think the best thing we can try and do as specialists supporting organizations when we think systemically is to really help them to see the rhythm. What is the pattern? What is the cycle? What is the structures that come up in terms of what is relevant for their business? So Arie, perhaps you can add a bit of Peter Senji's work quickly before I continue more.
The big thing of system thinking is entirely different perspective. The old story of out of the box. Very important to understand all the components that work together. It's necessary to do a good analysis of the situation. Systems thinking is the process of understanding how things influence one another within a whole. So the total picture must be kept in mind. System thinking examples like the ecosystem, and we know how many elements in nature plays a role in the ecosystem. If you look at this picture, I think this picture maybe sums it up, and it also telling us a lot. If you don't see the elephant and you are looking at from your perspective, through your eyes, you can see the one guy, he only got the trunk of the elephant. Maybe it's not to say that it's a snake, maybe it's a python, but that's his perspective. That's what he got, that's what he has seen, that's what he has experienced. So he doesn't see the elephant, he sees the elephant as only a trunk. The other guy's at the legs of the elephant. He thinks the elephant is like a tree trunk. That's all what he sees, that's all what he experienced. That is views. And that's what maybe you have seen before. The other guy, think of an elephant as a brush. He's on top of the elephant, he's at the hairy side of the elephant, and he thinks an elephant is like a brush. I can use it at home to clean my yard. Other guy thinks an elephant is like a rope. He got the tail side of it. And the other guy thinks an elephant is soft and mushy. He's really at the shit part of the elephant. So out of all these people, they got the different views of an elephant. And that's really the model of the story of system thinking. You can have all those views, but you need to put them together to have a holistic picture of what you're really dealing with. And that's why I think this slide is really very relevant in the views of people and how people perceive and how people think. And you really have to bring all the systems, all the components together to get this picture.